птичку.
Kill you leaders, fucking stop them up, stop getting on the way. People fly like yours in mind with that money, such a they want to start a war again. No, we call each other friends. If they want to be a god, we will not follow, we will fight, die, fight, die, fight, die, fight, now we will not fight. See all of me, if they play by the rules, cancel that kind of better, but this is no going far. It's time to the outfall. They think they will win it all. New planet, brand new dollars, with all of us on the loose. Tails popped under our hind legs, with no say in what to become of us at all. Kill your little dumb stuff, Ronald Reagan's back, so not the place that never ends. You bring up the nonsense, you won't take me. You won't take me, you won't take me, you won't take me. Fight, die, fight, die, fight, die, fight!
This is garbage in the middle. It's empty control.
One, two, three. You got it, they want it, just keep it, that's right. That's it. They tell you that's right, in the army you'll fight. That's it. In a day you'll have a gun, in a month you'll let your gun. That's it. In a year you'll stop war, they don't even tell you what you're fighting for. That's it. What do you get in the USA? Attempting control, it's the American way. California. Revolution, California, USA, go away! You got it, so you're the for yourself, no, that's right! That's it! That's right! For yourself, don't like you, for your honor, you'll fight! That's it! That's right! This is a struggle for power, Reaganomics, fuck off! That's it! That's right! No more people, no more lies, keep them out there, good cry! That's it! That's right! What do you get in the USA? Attempting control, it's the American way. California is home. Revolution, California, USA, go away. Class action! It's our responsibility! Like one for Saturday night! Bloody fuckers! Surrounding facts, you look us right! I don't believe command is coming to declare us up! Dirty short times and nothing to be done! Not positive action! General fine! People's evolution! Positive action! It's our responsibility! Look there and counterattack! Or else! I see what becomes singing a pack! No freedom! Fight for self and red steel! Ready boys, there's no fear! People's evolution, general fight. People's evolution, plot action, dark possibility, yeah, we know it's right. People's evolution, plot action, general fight.
Okay, we're going to have an interview right now with Code of Honor. My name is Steve, and maybe these people would like to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Dave.
My name's Michael Fox.
My name's Jonathan.
I'm Sal.
One thing that I'm really interested in is I have not been able to figure out the link between skateboarding and punk. How did it ever get together, especially in you as a band?
Ask him.
I don't think it ever got together at all. It's not really connected. It's more like some people skateboard and some people listen to punk music, but most of them just are, people. They're all people.
Thrasher magazine is a magazine that features a lot of punk bands and skateboard articles.
They did a heavy metal interview, a review of heavy metal bands recently too. Though they're trying to cover all sides. It's just that punk music is so much better than most other types of music. For skating too, because it's fast and it's aggressive and it's a lot better than listening to Merle Haggard or Dolly Parton or something or Code of Honor. Code of Honor is not really like that great of skateboarding music either, but some songs are. Some of the fast songs are, but what we've been doing lately has been more like stuff that you want to listen to.
What do you mean? You listen to it on your record player and then like skateboard around your living room to it? Is that what you're saying?
I do.
Well, everybody here does, naturally. You guys went on a tour last fall. Did you find a lot of skateboard activity throughout the United States, or was it pretty sedate?
Everywhere we went, there was skaters. On every punk scene.
Were the punk scenes as overtly violent as some of the gigs in California, or was it pretty sedate?
It wasn't too sedate, but it wasn't real violent or anything. We'd like to think that none of our gigs are too violent.
Yeah, there has been a lot of criticism on the part of some people that punk has been getting a little bit too involved in the internal violence area. You guys apparently didn't come across that very much in your travels.
Across, what, a lot of violence?
Yeah.
No, not too much. Kids were pretty much together, pretty much everywhere we went. There was a lot of organization everywhere we went, where kids would sit down and you know, they've got like their own little organizations together where they try to control pretty much what they do amongst their scene.
With their fanzines and stuff like that, and
yeah, if there's any hostility, it usually tends to come from outside the scene and is directed against the punks usually, and that's where the reports of violence come from. Is
very true. I've noticed that quite a bit. A lot the suburban kids come in and try to have a good time and all that, and
yeah, I think it is.
And it transpires that there isn't. 1, 2, 3. Hello. It's fine. Okay. And it also transpires that a lot of people get involved in that kind of stuff, and it gets really irritating for the punks who do show up to the gigs to have to deal with that. What exactly is Code of Honor? What does that mean?
So it's just right now it's just a 4-piece rock band. It's just personal belief. It's just what you believe in yourself, you know, inside.
Does it stand for any particular code of conduct or belief insofar as you're concerned?
That comes pretty much to an individual self. I mean, everybody knows inside what's wrong and what's right, you know,
Yeah.
and people know who's fucked and who ain't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's pretty much an individual thing, an individual feeling.
Uh-huh. In terms of your own feelings as a group, what is sort of fucked about the way things are, and what's the thing that's going to save it?
Ooh, that's a hard question. I mean, there's so many answers, facets to that question.
so many problems that we're not trying to say we have any solutions to them. We're asking as many questions as anybody else, just about, you know, everything we do. And, you know, the more you question what you do, the more you find out.
Actually, we should be pretty glad where we're at and what we're doing. I mean, we get to be on television, drink Coca-Cola, but actually the distribution of power and wealth throughout the land is totally wrong.
This is a love song about our government. It's called Death to You.
Politics, motherfucking dirty lies. Backstage on shit 95. Right side, lots of government supply. Fuck now, they learn time to die. Parasites will fool people's lives. Money hunts, government, they cry. Christianity, your skin, they die. Watch now, they learn time to die. I know I don't have to worry. Time is on my side. My life is only instrumental. I play more sheep than I. life of waste and corruption. All of you must decide to your own morality just what is to follow in the years to come. Politics on a fuck dirty line. Fascinating on a shit that's fine. I ain't saying nothing of it's a blood. What's none of her comes that you die. Parasites never fooling people's lives. Money holds down the hungry they cry. Christianity is giving dead God. What's none of her comes that you die. Show your face. Love you paint a picture with the numbers in place. Money to living for the U.S. to pay. Nothing ever changed, it's taken away. In this country, all things are given numbers and names. All the members of society. It's all to the slavery of money and fame. Every time that I see my face, after the all that time has gone by, I realize my life's not done. I know I cannot change everything. Every time that I think of all the lies that try to shape our life, I turn around, I can see myself screaming, that's not for me! I don't need to torture another for the things that I made. I won't fight in a war. Many thanks for the welcome shake. Take a good look, take a real good look at all things learned you've grown up. So you realize we're vacant now. You have to know just what I'm going to say. Time out there for Peter stopping when it's stuck in the bed. How can we watch it happen? When will we mess them up? I should stick together. Let's stick together. I know we only can win. So I will to death to death. Death to stupidity and bureaucracy. Every time you walk the streets again, feel the sound of every punk's heartbeat. All your friends that you know you can trust will always trust you. Now feel safe. I won't destroy the world. I'll just change or make a wrong world. Can I touch your face? Life is no parasite. Fucking out there, fuck what's right. Not for the fight, you will to die. When can society break? Fucking see you up there, change the base free. Be fighting still, be fighting still, be fighting still, be fighting still. Come in the hand, think you're the fool. And then you fight like a amazing. Straight up life, going live or die. We're going to go like time and the sky. Be fighting still, 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 be fighting still. All of this time, I've got one thing to say. We don't need this shit, you won't take it away. I do really care on how this country's run. Nick Bastis ran my idea of fun. Never before, I have the opposite chance. No, we can be one, we must make an advance. Time on us changes, we must be on our own. The opposite generation of the world is yet to know. And we fight for reality. And we fight for California, that country. And we fight. We fight. Now the trust of yours on what's in the new country. California, this country the time is now is the time for my country to the bay. My country to me, until man is free. No man prophecy, that's what life really means to me.
life. You know it's your head. So honor your thoughts and you're better off dead. If you think your life is wasted, look again. See what else, my brother, you don't have to pretend. And we fight their hypocrisy. And we fight their dishonesty. And we fight the government, our enemy. And we fight the lies they think we believe. And we fight against nuclear weaponry. And we fight for peace and humanity. And we fight.
But it gets down to that one song you're talking about. What are you going to do? And obviously, you guys have what are we going to do? What is the solution to it all? Is it just get up on stage and just sing protest songs?
The thing about like what are we going to do is not only are we asking questions, but the more people who are in the eye of the media and that kind of stuff ask questions, then the more questions people are going to start asking themselves, as well. So we're just stating that, we don't know, what the hell we're going to do.
Do you think there's any... That's the problem. There's always been a real ambivalence in the punk scene with regard to involvement. And people have been asking a lot of questions, but not much action has been really achieved aside from a few token protests from time to time. But
what else can you do but protest tokenly? I mean, you can't pick up...
you can be stupid and, like, blow something up and get thrown in jail, and it'll get more done, but it'll get you thrown in jail,
It also endangers the major cause, too. It discredits it to a lot of people.
Well, I'm not going to say... If I blew something up, I wouldn't say, I wouldn't claim...
It was punk rock.
I wouldn't claim that I did it, I'd keep it to myself.
Claim that you did it.
Do you guys actually consider yourself to be, or associate yourself with the punk scene, or do you figure yourself as some kind of different band?
We are different than a regular punk band. Of course, we're associated from punk rock. We're an offshoot from it. But, basically it's just rock and roll, whether it's heavy metal or punk. It's just, good rock music with something to say to it.
Do you think that punk rock has a chance at really uniting youth in America and really getting them on a solid course of action?
More of a chance than anything else, than the Church of God or some kind of...
I think it already has.
In what kind of way?
A lot, because there's so many bands, You can just look at it that way. And fanzines and just all the young people you see, What do they look like, Punks.
Yeah, it is a major source of unity, but also is sort of a divisive thing. Some people see the punks and they get really alienated by them. And do you think it has any long-term possibility for really uniting people? The scenes aren't getting better and better in every city in the United States, no doubt about it.
Well, with every kid, as you grow older, you change. A few years ago, I used to dye my hair green and be all spiky and stuff, and, I had the torn-up T-shirts that I put together myself, But, you just grow out of that. My political views, I think, have grown stronger in some senses, but then they've weakened out in a lot of other senses. Like, I can see now in the future where I'd like to be secure and be able to live off the band, where 4 years ago, I was totally, non-profit. Let's be a non-profit rock band, But now, you got to make ends meet and expenses and everything.
True enough. Do you have anything to say about that, either?
What was the question?
In terms of just getting together as a rock band and really doing something and having some kind of goal for the future in terms of making ends meet as a band, as Code of Honor. What are your goals for this band?
Well, we just want to play as much as we can. That's what I want to do, and get, tour and put out records.
Get our messages across to as many people as possible. Just tell people how we feel, and maybe they'll tell us how they feel.
Yeah.
Forced upon me, under control, I was never meant to be. All my fears have now gone past. I knew they wouldn't last. And now my thoughts are all my own. My body's free and my mind is full grown. But times are going to stand still for me. There is just too much pain, death, and misery. Tell me why it has to be this way. Endless, lying,
brightest day. Why don't you just like come and walk with me? Not only in death, but was meant to be free. Military aid to El Salvador, the destruction of peace in the far Middle East. They're playing that game, we don't know what it's for. Their eyes on money, they're planning for war. They need much more money, so they're hoping for war. Fucking change to oppression, they're planning for war. Yet they need much more power, they're hoping for war. What's it gonna be? Are your eyes not open, you say you can see. What's it gonna take? Take a good look around, see your future's safe. What's it gonna do? When they're looking down the barrel of the gun at you, what's it gonna be? It's your life now, don't you wanna live free? Thanks a lot, San Francisco.
Птичку.
Kill you need a fucking stop from that fucking none of what people call the cures in mind with that money doesn't count. They want to start a war again. So we call each other friends. They say what's up, your God? We wanna follow you, first eye, first eye, first eye, first now we will not die. See all in me, defend the play by the rules, and the top not a better, but doesn't know each other's far. It's time to have fall. They think they will win it all. New planet, brand new dollars, with all of us on the lead. What do you get in the USA? Attempting control, it's the American way. California, revolution, California, USA, go away. You got it, so you're the pure stuff. This is garbage in the middle. Attempting control. One, two, three. You got it, they want it, just keep it, that's right. They tell you that's right, in the army you'll fight. In a day I'll have a gun, in a month you'll let your gun. In a year I'll stop war, they don't even tell you what you're fighting for. Tails, tucked under our hind leg, with no say. And what, to become of us?
on! Kill your little dumb skull like Ronald Reagan's back skull. Like a plug that never ends. You bring up the nonsense, you won't take me. You won't take me. You won't take me. You won't take me. Bird died, bird died, bird died.